Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Metal Gear Solid 2 European Extreme Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the section just after the Harrier fight where we're going into the second shell and we're going to be getting the Nikita and playing with the President. So, I've just skipped over a bunch of stuff there because I was doing my intro, and the first thing I would say about the jump across the pit is it takes an interesting level of timing to do that jump, and you're probably going to cock it up if you follow me and you've never done it before, because it's a gut feeling on when to do it. 'Cause you've got to flip at the last possible moment, or Raiden just falls into the sea. And you'll also notice there was a rotating case behind the bunch of fire at the far end before I came across here, and there is a suppressor for the 74U. And all you have to do is use the coolant spray to get it, but I will never be using that gun until the end of the game when I start running out of M4 ammo. And the suppressor itself is useful, but the gun itself is useless because there's no pressure in the pad, so you can't really use it effectively in my opinion unless you do that analog shit, and I don't like doing that. So that's why I skipped it if you're wondering, and I'm just going to be pushing forward now, because as I said in the previous video, this is actually the easy part of the game from here on out. There is only a sniping section coming up that's hard, and the fight with the Tengus and the Metal Gear fight. Everything else, the torture stuff as well. The torture is fucking ridiculous, but that is a whole different topic for a whole different video. But when you drop down here, you're going to be effectively to the area you need to be, and there's going to be a whole bunch of ciphers that are going to be to my left coming up. And you're going to see me shoot them and then move into the center. And there is no guards on this section when you go inside the shell for the first section, because you're going to have to get the Nikita. There are only guards when you come back through with Emma, so there isn't any resistance at all. And I find that really strange considering the President's on that level. And it's one of the things I never understood when the game first came out, why there wasn't any security on this section of the game. And don't get me wrong, it's a nice peak and valley, it's a nice juxtaposition from the chaos of the Harrier fight, but it just makes it seem kind of fillery, which I always found strange. But this section here, that is another jump that if you've never done it before, you'll probably fuck it up, and I should know because I've fucked them up many times. But it does save some time, especially if you're speedrunning or anything like that. Not that this is a speedrun, because I am nowhere near good enough or knowledgeable enough at this game to do that, because that is just ridiculously skillful. Anyhow, we're going to be moving through the purification room to get the Stinger, and then once we've got to get the Nikita, and then once we've got the Nikita, we'll be back here, and that's when this section gets a little bit bullshitty. But I've got a little bit of a topic I want to talk about, and it is a spoiler alert for Metal Gear Solid 3, so if you don't know the story in Metal Gear Solid 3, please feel free to turn off right now, or to mute it, because there's some things that I was noticing while I beat the game the other day for the first time in quite some years. And that is obviously the whole part where Ava screws Snake over at the end, because she was really a Chinese spy. But it's okay, because Snake got his end away and he got to nail the bitch in the cottage in front of the fire, so in my eyes it was a total victory. And it always reminds me that I would probably make a very bad spy, because as soon as anybody gets the whaps out, my interest in the mission is completely gone and I just turn into this feverish animal. But my thought is, when she was posing as Tatiana in Krasnograd, Volgin was full on, taking advantage of her because he thought that she was Sokolov's wife. And as this, sheer dominance over Sokolov, he was pretty much tapping his wife. And if you've got this giant, 7-foot Russian Ivan Drago dude who's severely scarred and can control electricity, who's probably, blasting this bitch like a bear and leaving loads the size of, ice cream in her, how the hell does it happen that when Snake, makes some majestic, slow motion love to her at the end of the game, somehow conceives Solid Snake? Or whatever they try and make out has happened? Because in Metal Gear Solid 4, my memory of this is not too great because I haven't played that game in years, but I do remember the lady in, I think it's Act 3 on the motorcycle. She turns out to be Ava, and she also turns out to be your mother, because she's the person that gave birth to you, or something along those bloody lines. And I know there's the whole Les Enfants Terribles project and all that, and my memory's not too great, but it's like, how the hell can Snake's, swimmers be better than this giant Adonis of a man that is Volgin, who's like power slamming her for the entire duration of Snake Eater? And maybe it's all just one big conspiracy, and Volgin is really Snake's dad. So yeah, something to think about. And I've probably completely killed the timeline there and got all the storyline wrong, but it was just a theory that came to me when I was watching the ending, and I thought it was kind of interesting, so I'd voice it. But this bit is really gay. So the president's on the other side of that wall, and you'll notice I got some annotations up on the screen then of him reacting to the grenade. The reason I've done that is when you fire the Nikita into his room, if he runs anywhere near the machine as opposed to running towards you, you will not be able to do this. And it is so gay. Not only is the journey through the vents with the rocket that I'm doing right now, is it longer on European Extreme because it's like the most awkward crystal maze fucking pattern ever, but the president sometimes does not go the right way. And if he goes the way he's going now, you've got to detonate the rocket because it means it's not going to work. You've got to just keep repeating it until he runs towards you and to the left. If he runs to the right, you'll just kill him with the splash damage. And I come over here and fire another rocket to try and get his attention to move him away from the machine. And I don't know if it's successful, I don't know if it's working, but I do it anyway. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself. And then you just hopefully guide another one in and he moves. But a couple of things to note. The top left, the green bar that's decreasing is the fuel on the Nikita. When that runs out, the bomb will explode. The missile will explode, sorry. You have to be kind of quick to get through the vents. That's what you need. As soon as he does that, you're clear to do it. Before that, though, if he moves in any other direction towards that machine, you will fail. So, word of warning, guys, it's a little bit gay. But if you're on a smaller difficulty, or a lesser difficulty is probably a better way of putting it, you will have no issue with this section. I didn't even realise you could kill the president, because when I played through on normal and very easy and all that good stuff, I never had an issue. But lo and behold, on this difficulty, the game cock blocks you pretty much every single opportunity it gets. So now that that is done, all that's left to do now is swim back through the ruins, because we're going to be moving into the, I think it's the filtration room, where we're going to be fighting Vamp. And Vamp is probably the hardest boss on the game when it comes to European Extreme. If you're fighting the man-on-man way, but there is a loop that you can do, and there's actually two loops if we're being technical. The first loop is the sloppy loop that takes a lot longer, but it's a lot safer. The second loop is what speedrunners use, but it takes a certain level of technique that can be kind of awkward to get the rhythm down. And I'll explain them both in the video for you to help get across my point and to help you do the correct one. And in the video I cock it up twice and then I get him in the loop at the end, so it's a good example of both versions of it. But on this swimming section, all you want to be aware of is the mines. You can get kind of close to them before they blow up, but on this difficulty you do not want to be hitting them because it's going to do some severe damage, and there are no rations on European Extreme, so you were warned. Another really important thing that I should have mentioned that I haven't is there is body armor in these sunken areas that you need to pick up. If you're playing on Extreme or European Extreme, the body armor is your best friend. Because for the people that don't know, when you pop it on, it halves the damage you take, and it makes you a hell of a lot tougher than you were before. So even if you're playing on normal or easy, and you're having a tough time for whatever reason, if you use the body armor, you'll be able to take twice as many hits. And I don't think its location moves per difficulty. I think it's always in one of the underwater corridors, and you should see me on one of these videos pick it up, but if you don't, I don't know, make sure you do. But I'll see you in the next video anyhow, people, so thanks for watching. I hope it's helping, and you take care now.